Deen had canceled an appearance on the Today Show after news broke that she might be racist. And recently she decided maybe it was a bad idea to do that. So she did speak to Matt Lauer on the Today Show today. And we have a few clips for you. So let's go to the very first one.
The main reason I am here today, Matt, is it's important to me that I tell you and everyone out there what I believe and how I live my life. I believe that every creature on this earth, every one of God's creatures was created equal.
Are you here to express what you just said, or are you here to stop the financial bleeding?
I am here today because I want people to know who I am.
So what are your thoughts on this? Because you haven't really had a chance to talk about it on our show.
Oh, Paula. First of all, I think that she should have said when Matt Lauer, very prickly by the way, like, Matt, come on.
I kind of like that though.
He's just so off-putting. But I would have loved when he said, are you here to really tell people who you are or to stop the bleeding? If she would have said both. I mean, I want people to know who I really am, and I'm losing sponsors, I'm losing business right and left. I'd like to, bring this situation to triage, if you don't mind. But here's the thing about Paula Deen. Now, I'm not a big fan because I can't, I think about her food and I'm gonna need 2 chairs. But in general, I don't think she's probably a bad person. I think it's probably cultural racism, which doesn't really, it's not really an excuse, but like, if that's where she's from and that's the vibe, I don't think she went out one day and said, you know what? That N-word does not get used enough at the Deen house.
You know, it's one thing to judge her only based on what you've read in the deposition, but it's another thing to consider her actions. So the thing that makes me look at her as a racist is not necessarily just the deposition. I think about the accusations that have been charged against her. So Lisa Jackson is suing her for discrimination, and also some of the allegations include Paula Deen choosing to put light-skinned black people in the front of her businesses, so in service positions, and then dark-skinned black people in the back. Now, of course, she's going through a lawsuit, and the lawsuit will hopefully lead to some sort of investigation that will prove whether or not this is happening. But if those are the allegations, those are
pretty serious.
It's pretty serious.
And also, I guess, everyone's saying her brother, who she does a lot of business with, together they created this incredibly racial and sexually hostile work environment. Like, what kind of good old boys came out of the Deen house? I mean, you can't, this is a huge, I mean, she's losing, Walmart and Food Channel and all of these companies we probably never even heard of, restaurants at Caesars, all this stuff, and it's like, you have to step out of, like, come on, brother, work for me, and really think about this as a businesswoman, because if he's causing this problem, then maybe he just needs to get cut off.
Absolutely. Now let's go to video number 2, where she's asked whether or not she would fire herself.
Given the same circumstances, would you have fired you?
Would I have fired me? Knowing me? No.
I don't know, I was just amused by that. Because of course she's gonna say no. She's gonna be like, yeah, I would fire me.
I'm the worst, you got me.
Now, in the next video, she starts to get a little emotional.
But you raised your right hand.
Yes, I did.
And you swore under oath that you have used a word that is the most offensive word you can use to describe an African American. And you've talked about this wedding you wanted to plan, that plantation-style wedding, whether you use the N-word or not. So how does someone use the N-word, whether in anger or in a joke or in private, the most offensive word to African Americans, and not be considered a racist?
Yes. The day I used that word, it was a world ago. It was 30 years ago. I had a gun put to my head, a shaking gun, because the man that had the gun to my head, unbeknown to me, was my customer at the main office.
But didn't you also admit, Paul, that you used the word on other occasions?
No.
So you have, other than that one time in the bank, a robbery attempt, you're telling me you have never used the N-word?
I have never.
So does it make it better that she used that word when someone was robbing her at gunpoint?
I mean, I think all she was probably saying was I was in such mental and emotional distress that I don't know what I was talking about. I think I want to help her here and spin this and say that's probably what she was saying. But in the deposition, didn't she talk about the plantation wedding?
She talked about the plantation wedding and how she really wanted a family member to have a plantation wedding. I don't know. She said something about how she was in favor of a plantation-style wedding. And then the lawyer asked her, like, about the waiters, and he's like, so you want black people waiting on white people, or black men waiting on white people? And she's like, well, they have women too, black women too, like dressed as waiters and waitresses, you know, waiting on white people. So, and then the lawyer followed that up with, like, slaves, and she's like, yeah, like slaves.
She was probably like, yeah, he gets me. Okay, like slaves, that's what I meant. Like, oh, Paula, stop talking.
God, it just gets worse. All right, so let's go to video number 5, where she kind of blames young people for her usage of the N-word.
Do you have any doubt in your mind that African Americans are offended by the N-word?
I don't know, Matt. I have asked myself that so many times because it's very distressing for me to go into my kitchens and I hear what these young people are calling each other. It's very, very distressing.
You've never joined in on that language?
No, absolutely not. It's very distressing. It's very distressing for me because I think that for this problem to be worked on, that these young people are gonna have to take control and start showing respect for each other and not throwing that word at each other. That it makes my skin crawl.
That video makes me wonder whether or not she finds the usage of the N-word distressing. You know? Like, is it distressing? Because it seems like she thinks it's distressing.
Yeah.
Because she uses the word distressing like 20 distressing times.
Yeah, she's very distressed.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the worst. I feel sorry for her. I mean, I feel like you work, really hard in your life, and you climb and you do and you scrape and you scratch and you get to this amazing place, and then one stupid thing, kind of collapses your whole career. However, she's toxic. People don't want to be in business with her. They don't want to be around her. She screwed up.
So we have 2 more videos that we have to get to. Video number 8, her friends feel sorry for her as well.
I'm not an actress. I'm heartbroken. I'm thankful for my partners.
Heartbroken? Why? Heartbroken for yourself or your family?
Jesus.
I've had to hold friends in my arms while they've sobbed because they know what's being said about me. It's not true. And I'm having to comfort them and tell them it's going to be all right. If God got us to it, He'll get us through it.
That's a nice little soundbite.
Nice soundbite.
Yeah. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. He'll get us through it.
Final video, video number 9, my favorite.
I've had wonderful support, and I tell you what, if there's anyone out there that has never said something that they wish they could take back, if you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me. Please, I want to meet you. I want to meet you. I is what I is.
I is what I is.
All of a sudden she's Foghorn Leghorn.
But why the grammatical inaccuracy?
Because
there?
she's just, she's just who she is. She's just a down-home girl and real folksy like.
No.
And that's the thing.
That wasn't endearing though. Like,
no.
Do people find that endearing?
I is what I is. No. But, as much as Matt Lauer didn't let her off the hook at all, I would love for his follow-up question to have been, okay, cool, let the one without sin cast the first stone, but does that make it right? Because a lot of people make bad decisions. Does that make your bad decision any better, any worse?